Welcome to Beyond the Question, the podcast where curiosity meets courage. I'm your host, Afua, and with me, as always, is my favorite co-host and deep thinker, Ernest.
It's great to be back. And today, we're diving right into one of humanity's oldest and biggest questions. Does God truly exist, or is he just a human idea?
That's right. From ancient caves to modern science labs, humans have always looked upward and inward, asking if there's something or someone beyond us. Today we're unpacking part 1, the human cry for God, from our chapter reading, and exploring how this question has echoed through centuries of belief, doubt, and discovery.
So grab your tea, your journal, or your headphones, because this conversation might just stretch your mind and stir your soul.
Segment 1, the human cry for God. Ernest, I love how the passage begins, not in a church, not in a lab, but in a cave. A child looking up at the stars and wondering, who lit them? That image says so much about us as humans. Before religion or philosophy, there was awe.
Exactly. That moment, the wonder, is where belief begins. It's fascinating that every culture, whether in Africa, Asia, or the Americas, looked up and asked the same kind of question. Where did all this come from? It's like the universe whispered the same curiosity into every soul.
And that whisper never really goes away. Even people who don't believe the sense that there's something bigger, something meaningful beyond us. Maybe belief in God didn't start as religion. Maybe it started as hunger, a hunger for connection and meaning.
Beautifully said. And it reminds me of that line. It may be that belief in God is not a primitive error, but a permanent hunger. I think that's profound.
Segment 2, the age of doubt. But then, of course, the other voice enters, the skeptic. Epicurus asked the question that still challenges believers today. If God is good and powerful, why does evil exist?
Right. And that question launched centuries of philosophy and debate. But notice something interesting. Even the skeptics were still engaging with God. They were arguing about his nature, not ignoring the possibility of his existence.
Yes, that's a good point. Even when people say, I don't believe in God, they're often still wrestling with what kind of God they can't believe in. It's like Voltaire said, if God did not exist, it would be necessary to invent him. Even disbelief can't silence wonder.
Exactly. Because whether you believe or not, you still wake up and face questions that science alone can't answer. Why am I here? What is right? Why do I long for something eternal?
Segment 3, the scientist's gaze. Then science came along, and some thought it would replace God. But the passage reminds us that even scientists like Darwin and Einstein weren't dismissive. They just saw mystery differently.
Einstein's quote gets me every time. The most incomprehensible thing about the universe is that it is comprehensible. He saw intelligence woven into everything.
And then Stephen Hawking flips it, saying the universe can create itself from nothing because of the law of gravity. But here's the twist. Even that raises another question. Where did gravity come from? Who or what gave that law its existence?
Exactly. Even the word nothing in physics isn't really nothing. There's always something. A field, an energy, a rule. And every time we push the question of God away, it circles back through another door.
Segment 4, the whisper within. And that's where the passage takes us deeper, into the human heart. Beyond the stars, beyond the science, there's consciousness. That inner whisper that knows right from wrong.
Yes, the moral compass, invisible but universal. C.S. Lewis once said, if I find desire which no experience in this world can satisfy, the most probable explanation is that I was made for another world. That line gives me chills, because it means our longing might be evidence of something real, not just imagination.
It's like thirst proves water exists. Maybe the human longing for God hints that he's real, not invented.
Segment 5, The Seeker's Story. Then we meet Dr. Francis Collins, a scientist who used to be an atheist. But when he studied DNA, he said he saw the language of God.
That's poetry right there.
Exactly. Both scientists saw the same data, but one saw random code and the other saw design. Maybe the difference wasn't in the evidence, but in the eyes that looked at it.
Segment 6. The Agnostic's Path. And then there's the agnostic, standing between belief and disbelief, saying, I don't know. I actually find that kind of honesty refreshing.
Same here, because humility is often the doorway to discovery. Many who began with I don't know ended with I believe. Like Anthony Flew, the lifelong atheist philosopher who later admitted the universe's order and complexity point to an intelligent source.
Sometimes the search itself becomes sacred. Whether you believe or doubt, asking sincerely means you're already standing on holy ground.
Ending, the question that never dies. Through all ages, faith, doubt, science, war, progress, one thing stays the same. Humanity still kneels, still wonders, still reaches upward.
Maybe that's the real story, not about proving God, but about rediscovering our own capacity for wonder. Whether God exists out there or in here, the question itself calls us higher, to think, to seek, to hope.
And maybe that's the point. The question, does God exist, isn't just about God. It's about us, about what it means to be human in a universe that keeps whispering, look up.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Beyond the Question. If this conversation moved you, share it, comment your thoughts, and let's keep asking together.
Until next time, keep wondering, keep seeking, and remember, sometimes the question itself is the beginning of revelation.